surfing?
No, I'm going through my spreadsheet trying to figure out why I spent 24 grand.
It's a little late now. We're not done with the project, but where are we at?
So including the purchase price, which was $5,800, we are at $24,079.05.
$24,079.
Yep. And 5 cents.
24 grand. What does that cover?
Purchase price is the biggest item. Everything. Just to name a couple of just random items from here. When we bought it, one of the lower control arms was smashed from hitting stuff, so that was $66.76 for that. LED taillights so that nobody rear ends us, hopefully. The maintenance things, when I first got it and I was going through and doing the bearings and positive traction in the rear axle. If I returned something, I tried to factor that in. So I've got negative entries in the spreadsheet. The shocks in the rear, the Bilstein shocks, $178 there. You know, McMaster car for the nut certs when I did the roof rack off a 2005 Suburban and drilled and put the nut certs in the top there. The window that I broke when I was trying to do the motor, $132.50. The rear leaf springs that are replaced, $524.27. Weather stripping, $343.90, and that wasn't all of it. That was just like the first round of weather stripping. The 5.3 engine, $750.
Outside of the actual purchase of the vehicle, what's the largest purchase?
The largest single purchase, the front suspension. So my new front suspension that I have yet to put on, the largest single purchase.
Overall, if the suspension, the brakes, the car itself, was there one that I'm missing? Was there another
Big ticket item?
big ticket item?
The wheels and tires.
That's the big chunk of change though, and the rest of it was just this little thing and that little thing, and
Yep.
it just all
$500
accumulated.
for rear leaf springs. Yeah.
So if you're trying to do this truly on a budget, it's those little things you really have to watch. If you wanted to buy it and just get it up to like true good quality maintenance, not all of the additions like the LED brake lights and all of that, do you have a number on that?
No. Nope. I would make decisions differently. It had different wheels and tires when I bought it. The tires were garbage, but the wheels, you know, I made the decision to go with a larger wheel on the front because it was so low that it hit the ground on the interstate. The Dakota digital gauges inside of it, you know, that was a discretionary purchase. I could have bought some cheaper gauges. I really liked and still do really like the features and what that gets me. The vintage air conditioning, you know, that was a discretionary purchase. I could have left the original air conditioning in there and replaced whatever components needed to be replaced. The wheel tubs, the inner wheel tubs in the front to get the tires to not rub. I could have just taken them out. So I could have run with no inner fenders. A lot of people do that. It throws everything that your tires throw, it throws it everywhere underneath the hood, but I could have done that. That was an option. Exhaust had to be done regardless, so I could have saved.
But it didn't need to be
I could
stainless steel, right?
No, it didn't. So, you know, I could have made different decisions there that would have reduced the cost.
Because it drove when we got it.
It ran and drove. Yep, when we got it.
What do you think it would have taken just to get it back to decent quality, like the lower control arm, all the leaks that were in there? Really, this is no more expensive than buying a used car, especially given the ridiculous prices with cars right now.
Yeah, so I could not buy, so let's see, if I bought a 10-year-old Suburban to get one with a reasonable amount of miles with that, so and I'm going 10 years old, maybe I should do 5 years old. So to get a 5-year-old Suburban would cost me significantly more than $24,000. In fact, I can go to cars.com right now and see what a 2017 Suburban with 100,000 miles would cost. So I didn't find exactly what I'm looking for, but a 2018 Suburban with 96,000 miles, so basically 100,000 miles, 36 grand. But this would also be the same as every other plastic Suburban in the parking lot.
Which I know you don't like, which is why we have this
Yes.
and a Jeep
Yep.
and a truck. And 2 Willies and pieces and parts.
Yeah. I like something with character.
You do like something with character.
And you forgot about the station wagon.
Oh, I did forget about the station wagon.
And the station wagon's in the video.
Maybe you like something with character because you are a character.
Yeah, it might be. Or because I'm interested in characters.
Do you think somebody could find, like, we got this at a pretty good price point before the used car market went bananas. What do you think the odds are of finding something like this again? And as good a quality
Yeah,
shape?
they're still out there. Yep. They're absolutely still out there. I see them on Marketplace. You may have to look a little bit, but I mean, it wouldn't be that hard to duplicate. You might pay a couple grand more, but definitely for 8,000, you could absolutely end up with something comparable.
And then enjoy the process of doing it all up. Now the 24 is you doing the labor. Have you paid for anybody else to do labor?
The only thing that I paid to have done is the re-arching of the leaf spring after the new leaf springs that I bought and put in did not solve the lean.
And these are all your junkyard finds too, right? You still have a number of things that you want to do though, besides the suspension and brakes, or are we pretty much done? And we can probably claim the project as 25,000.
They're never really done. So that doesn't mean that in a year I won't want to do something else. There's a chance that I may swap out my radiator and do electric fans instead of the clutch mechanical fan on it. The hitch, so I'd like to weld up a new hitch that hides behind the license plate when we're not using it and flip up the license plate when we are using it, because this one drags.
You know what's caused that, right? The fact that it's lower. Okay, just making sure we're clear on this thing that you bought it for, that you love it. I think you could probably safely say then, even by the time you get done this little thing and that little thing over the next 2-3 years, we're probably talking 35 at the most.
Yeah.
And that's, you just showed that 35 for a 10-year-old
No,
looks like everything else.
5-year-old.
5-year-old
Yep.
looks like everything
With
else.
100,000 miles. Yep. Yep. So it's just a matter of what you want to drive.
I'm gonna need to do like a ladies review of this because I much prefer riding in this thing with the family than the new one we own.
Well, we don't own a new one. We have a 2007.
I'm sorry, new to us.